Okay. And we're live with the Rick and Nick podcast.
Yo, what up, fam?
It's been a long time, man.
Yeah, too long.
It's been way too long, honestly. Did you see Chad and JT on Ellen?
I saw dude, it's funny, I was watching, well, my buddy was watching TV, and I just kind of happened to pass by, and it was like a commercial for Ellen, and they're like, today on Ellen, and they're like, we see, like, who gives the best hugs in Michigan, and then, or like some bullshit, and then they're like, and look at these guys from California going all the way, like, there was fucking Chad and JT, man, like, on the commercial. I was like, no fucking way, this is crazy.
Dude, I know. I was so pumped. Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't seen it. Is it good?
It's so good. I mean, it's not like their best work as far as cuz obviously all of their like unknown stuff is better. But
Yeah.
they as far as like being on a big talk show, it was hilarious. And also the comments for them were equally as hilarious. Like
Oh, yeah.
if you go to like, cuz you can watch it on the Ellen YouTube channel.
Okay.
Just type in like Ellen show and it'll be like the fourth entry. Because they were only on there for like 8 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. What kind of comments were there?
It was just funny because the comments were all like from people that like actually watched the Ellen show. Like
Yeah.
they were like comments like, "Oh my god, like these people actually exist." LOL. And like one of the top comments was some like girl who was verified on YouTube. So I guess she's doing something right. And
Yeah.
she commented like, "These guys are my spirit animal" and stuff like that. It was just a bunch of like people who had never seen them before, so it was cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure the types of people who sit and watch Ellen at like 3 p.m. on a Thursday are not the kind of folks that are big into Chad and JT, but, you never know, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. It's like that's why I asked my mom to TiVo it, and
She's probably like, I already was going to. Like,
yeah, she was like, "Who are these people?" But if I had not told her ahead of time who they were, they would. My mom probably would have been like the same way. She'd be like, "Oh, these guys are idiots" or something. But dude,
what did they talk about? Like, what were they even on the show like talking about?
they're talking about their they're talking about their fight and campaign to like create house parties or like to legalize house parties. And they showed this clip that I had never seen before. Um,
Yeah.
of it was Chad and JT at they were in Delaware. They went across country to like campaign for, I guess, because Delaware was making some sort of thing where it was like if it's like 5 people or more, it's like a party or something. And I had never seen this clip before, but it's like JT saying something along the lines of like, I think it's unfair to classify like any place after 8 p.m. as a party if it's 4 or more people. And then he says like, technically this meeting could be considered a party or something like that. And he's like, and then he like stops himself and he goes, "It's chill, but it's not a party." Dude, it's fucking great. I had never seen that clip too, which is great too.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
like I also Ellen. I haven't seen Ellen laugh that hard at. I mean, I don't really watch the Ellen show, so I guess it's not really a good focal point or whatever, but I was
Yeah.
like, I've never seen her just crack up like that. Like she was like hysterically laughing
Nice, dude.
because she like roasts Chad on not being tan. And
Wow.
she gets them a present. I won't spoil it for you.
Okay, dude, I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Um, yeah, she gets them a present. I was
Just Chad or both of them?
she gets both. She gives them both presents, but
Alright.
sadly, like I will spoil this. It's not the Paul Walker statue.
Oh, dude.
That's
Yeah, that'd be fucking epic, dude.
that's what I wanted so badly. I was like, dude, if anyone could do it, it'd be Ellen.
Yeah, that's
Like-
like pocket change for her.
Yeah, and also just like if she just like went up to this like Santa Monica like council or whatever, like if she just went up to them and said, "Hey, like I'm gonna build this statue of Paul Walker on the pier," they'd be like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, they'd be like, whatever, dude.
Hey,
Whatever
just
you want, Ellen.
yeah, whatever you want, Ellen. Just do your thing. Oh, dude, I was trying to figure out who is the because I was talking with Kim about this about how Ellen was like she started out as a stand-up comic
Right.
and then she was like the first person to like out herself, quote unquote.
Yeah, well, she had like a sitcom called like the Ellen Show or whatever, like on
Yeah.
NBC on like in the 90s. But on that show, her character was straight. But then, like during the middle of the show, like it was pretty popular, I guess. And then her character like came out as being gay, like on the show. And then that was like a big.
Was that
She
planned?
like, kissed someone or something. I don't know what.
Was that like planned?
Yeah, they like wrote it into the show and everything, but it wasn't like no one knew that she was gay in real life. And then when that show came out, she was like, when the episode came out, she was like, yeah, like I'm actually gay.
Like,
kinda
yo, jokes on you, I'm
Yeah,
actually
big
gay.
deal in the 90s, pre 9/11. You know, people cared about shit like that.
And I remember, wasn't her girlfriend like super hot?
Oh yeah, dude, she's still with that chick. I think they're married. It's the girl. Her name's Portia de Rossi. She's in Arrested Development. She's like the sister, the like blonde chick.
Oh, dude, she's hot.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
Hella
definitely.
fine, dude.
I definitely know that. That's crazy though, because I remember that being like a big thing. Like I remember when she came out, that was like when like Kevin and I were rewatching a couple episodes of Always Sunny, like we always do, and and it's funny because like the older episodes, like the earlier episodes, like 2004-ish or so, they were like saying faggot and retard and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like,
Nice.
wow, dude, times change quick because you can't say that shit now.
I know. Definitely. Back in 2004, man. It was a simpler time.
Yeah, dude, everyone was just shook up after the towers fell.
True.
After all the Jews brought them down.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
we
kidding.
found out about that.
I went to a bar mitzvah actually recently, so and
Oh, no way, dude.
I can say things like that because I don't have any animosity towards the Jewish people, but I just feel like they have a lot of excuses that they make. Like, cause come on, like let's be real here, dude. Like they're like the most successful people in
Per
Hollywood.
capita.
Yeah, exactly, per capita. It's like it's not and it's not like Jerry Seinfeld like had anyone related to him that was in the actual Holocaust or anything like that. Like, he's not reaping any of the benefits from that. He's a New York Jew.
Yeah, his bloodline goes far back in New York.
I'll probably have to edit some of this, but it's whatever. I haven't said anything. The thing is, I haven't said anything racist, and I don't have. I really like my whole thing is that I think that I don't know, like the whole like Hollywood being controlled by Jews is not good for business. I mean, you saw how it worked out for Harvey Weinstein.
We should just let the Muslims run shit.
Yeah, at least
see how
like
that works out for us.
I want to see like a Muslim Weinstein. I bet you there's none because the Islamic culture is like very kind.
Yeah, they would never pull shit like that.
Yeah, they're not like see like a good Islamic man or Muslim man is not out there like diddling kids. You know.
Wait, dude, wasn't Weinstein's thing he like was having girls like jerk him off onto like a plant? I don't know. For some reason, like a plant stick out in my mind. But I'm not sure why. If there's like a planter involved or like plants.
No.
I don't know if that's just a weird like fantasy that has somehow like subconsciously come into my brain, but I swear that there's some part of the story that involves like a planter that I'm not clear about. Maybe I'll have to do some research on that.
Yeah, dude, make sure you do that like on like anonymous browser.
Yeah.
Cause I've looked up stuff like because I was looking up like the Epstein stuff and all that crazy like scary stuff, and I realized like I shouldn't be like looking all of this up just like on my main browser.
Right.
So I just used
being like Epstein child sex ring.
Yeah, I mean, no. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll get a sponsorship if we rep. I like to use DuckDuckGo.com. It's the best anonymous browser without having to actually have a VPN. You just literally DuckDuckGo.com, and it doesn't log any of your search results. So
wow, all right.
Yeah, if they want to throw me if they want to throw me a hot $50 for every pod, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, dude, let's get that DuckDuckGo money, man.
Yeah, dude, we have to go after it. But like the Weinstein thing is terrifying in itself.
Yeah.
Just because of like, I don't know. He got suicided. How do you feel about that? Like.
Well, you mean Epstein, right?
Yeah.
Weinstein is still alive and well. Thank God.
Thank God. Dude, him being at the Oscars in like I think it was like 2014. They had so many like quick cuts to him that I remember. Yeah, it's just kind of like unsettling seeing him there.
Dude, he made. I mean, I'm not like stoked about this, but him and his brother were responsible for like a lot of my favorite movies.
Oh, I know. Like they cast that he. That's actually kind of the creepy thing is that all of his movies were very well casted. You're like, damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of hand jobs.
No, like I think the person that you're thinking of, like actually that's actually a good segue. Is how do you feel about Louis C.K.? Because he wasn't.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think I heard about like the story on what he's being accused of, which I think is wrong, and which basically what happened was from what I've heard is that he never forcibly raped anyone or anything like that, but he sort of coerced women in comedy to kind of like be in hotel rooms with him, and then he would like expose himself and start like jerking it like in front of them, and they were like blocking the door so they couldn't leave, which is really fucking weird, but you know, whatever. But here's the thing: so he it came out, and you know, whatever, and then he kind of gave like a half-assed apology, and then afterwards he kind of like was a dick about it, like from what I've gathered. So I think more the issue isn't like so much that it happened. I mean, it sucks for those girls that it happened to, but like he could have definitely gotten himself out of hot water by just, you know, humbling himself and saying, you know, I'm sorry this happened. Like, it was fucked up. I took advantage of these people, and I won't do it again. Like, that's all he had to say, but he just kind of blew it with his like shitty apology.
Yeah, but it's like, I can't picture. God, I feel bad, like, as a human being, but I can't picture a man, like, combining masturbating with, like, also, like, barring a door. Does that make me a bad person? But, like, I can't see someone, like, like, maintaining a good solid masturbation sesh while also like holding a door, like even just holding a door on its own is hard.
you gotta really pick one or the other, man. You can't do both at the same time.
I think he maybe he did, like maybe he got them on the way out, like kind of like, you know, like when you over pump like a super soaker. And like at the very end, you get that little like, like maybe he hit him with that.
Oh yeah.
On their way out, he just give him a little like farewell gift. No, I don't mean to make I don't mean to make light of it. It's just one of those things that's like, I don't know. I feel like it's ridiculous that like certain people get off on certain charges and then like other people don't. I don't know. That's also a very stupid way of describing it.
The court of public opinion is very fickle. Like, people all, you know, come after someone for something, and it just a lot of it just depends on if the outrage goes sort of like viral in a sense. You know, like that's more important than the actual like thing that they did. You know?
Oh yeah.
People get caught up in the like spectacle of it all.
That's why, even though he's a horrible person, I think it was respectable that Bill Cosby went after the people that discredited him. Like so he's a horrible person.
Right.
He raped women, drugged women. And so obviously I'm not endorsing him, but I thought the one positive takeaway from that was the fact that he, like, the few women that went after him that didn't actually like ever meet him, he sued the fuck out of them for defamation, and so he was able to like, you know, he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, but like he was at least able to be like, all right, at least I'm going to make sure like the women who are like just here for a paycheck and didn't have any experience with him did that, like, you know, because that comes with all of those kinds of cases. There's always there's always a couple fucking fleas that hop on the bandwagon of actual victims.
I mean, that's the people who do that and try to take advantage and just get a paycheck. That's like hurting the women that it really did happen to, because then if they, you know, if it comes out that these women are just full of shit, then that sort of discredits the ones that it really did happen to. So it's not like helping anyone, you know. It's just selfish.
Exactly, and
Which,
it also, and then also like the coming repercussions of that, if someone was to actually be like, "Yo, you're full of shit," and they got proved like that they were full of shit, it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna discourage people who actually have had trauma from coming forward because
Right.
they don't
Yeah.
want the
Totally.
possibility of being disproven or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. It's definitely a double edged sword. I don't even know
Yeah.
how I got on this subject. I didn't want to go super dark, but it's just one of those. It's just one of those things
Well,
where it's like,
do
it's
you
such.
mind if I hit up my buddy? Speaking of New York and Jews, we were talking about that.
Oh, you got a New York Jew on the phone?
Well, he's not Jewish, but he lives near a bunch of them, and he's always kind of talking about his day-to-day encounters with them. So I'm gonna hit this fool up just because I think he might have an interesting take on all that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to cut it real quick and then? I mean, I'm not gonna edit any of this anyway. So, does he like know we're gonna call him? Rick.
Yo, hey, yo, BJ, you there?
yeah.
Oh, what up, Nick? You there?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it worked, man.
Oh, my guy.
This reminds me of the three-way calls we used to do back in like 8th grade before we went out to like go to movie theaters and drop burritos off of fucking off of the bridges and stuff.
You drop burritos off bridges?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
we
man.
do for fun, man.
Yo, so Nick, I just wanted to say, bro, I'm a big Action 6 supporter. I subscribe on YouTube, man. I listen to you guys' shit a lot, so, you know,
Thank
I'm one of
you.
those guys.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah. And
There's
thanks for having me on, you know.
there's dozens of us.
Yeah, man.
Thank you though.
Oh, man.
But
Yeah.
so you're
Well,
from you're from New York, right?
Yeah, man. I'm out in Queens in a place called Oakdale Park.
Oh shit, dude. Is it hot there still right now?
What's up?
Is it hot? Like this the temperature? Because we just
Yeah.
went through a heat wave.
It's nice, you know. It's like 60s.
Oh, that's
You
perfect.
know, it's like the best time of year for that, man. Fall is fucking beautiful out here, but summer, winter sucks balls.
Oh yeah, fucking ice scraping your car. But we
Yeah,
were
well,
just.
I don't have a car, but you know.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, I
I
would.
live that brick life, you know.
You don't. As far as I mean, I've never lived in New York City, but most people have told me like don't have a car in New York City. It's
Yeah,
not,
I mean, it's like it's pretty much fucking impossible to park and all that bullshit. Insurance, fucking dealing with the snow, the weather. You know, like I live pretty far out. Like it takes me an hour to get to work every day, like in Manhattan. But I wouldn't fucking want it, man. You know, if I worked in Long Island or some bullshit, definitely I would need it. But you know, not for me, not for my situation.
Yeah. Well, dude, yeah, man, the no car life is the way to go as far as I'm concerned. Just
Yeah.
you know, just have a stable of like insecure women that you hang out with that'll drive you around. That's the best bet.
Oh, man.
Yo, before we got you on the phone, man, we were talking about actually like New York and Nick, I guess, apparently just went to a bar mitzvah.
Oh, nice.
there's a lot of Jews.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I live in a total Jew world, bro. You wouldn't even fucking believe it. I'm what they would call a, Mashugana. I'm a goy, but at the same time, bro, everybody I meet thinks I'm a Jew. You know, they hear me talk, I speak the language, I know Yiddish and all that, you know, so it's like I'm sort of one of them.
Wait, how did you just picked up on it by living there?
Yeah, you know, everybody's either Mashugana or they're talking about their pishki, their petzel, you know, fucking Schickses, Schwartzes, you know. But,
Seriously though,
man.
like how did they? God, it brings up so many questions. I'm trying to.
Yeah, it was you, bro.
I'm trying to like not like just typecast Jews as being like the rich part of New York, but like it feels like they run Hollywood and New York. Like how the hell did that happen?
Bro, well,
Are there any parts of New York where there's like a bunch of poor Jews, or is that just not exist?
so here's the interesting thing about that. You know, Jews you would largely divide into Orthodox and unorthodox.
Right.
So Orthodox is big beard, hat, sideburns. You know, everything is about Hashem. You know,
Yeah.
everything religious schedule. Fucking lights out on Saturdays. They observe the Sabbath. Fucking Shabbat dinner. Milky plates. So, and look, I love Jews. I don't want to. Let me start with a preamble. You know, don't at me is what I'm saying.
right.
Now, I want to say they found the world, right? But
Yeah.
well, yeah. Let me switch that. So poor Jews. So it's interesting in Brooklyn. Many Jews live in the projects.
Oh
They
shit.
come, they
So
come
this
straight.
is like fucking like Necro and El Bill or like that. Like
Exactly. Yeah. So they're not far removed from Israel,
Yeah.
and they come over to New York. But the thing is, over there in Israel, and this is what my buddies tell me, they say that there's classes taught on how to work the system to basically get free housing, education, welfare, all this shit.
Yeah.
While meanwhile hiding your taxes. A lot of it is done through the diamond business, which I actually worked in for a while, you know, before I got my law shit together.
Oh shit.
And I don't want to say everybody's doing it, but a lot of these people are actually very fucking rich. And
Right.
the projects that they live in are all Jewish, but at the same time, they all are pretty fucking well off. They drive Benzes, and Lord knows what they got stacked away.
Right?
Yeah.
Like who knows what they have in like an account in Panama?
Exactly, yeah. Or even, you know, in Tel Aviv for that matter.
Well, yo, and you mentioned the Orthodox Jews. So, what is Hasidic? Is that like a subset?
Wait,
of
is that
Orthodox?
are those the sect that like dresses and still like almost they look almost kind of like I'm not trying to like wash over it all, but like the people who are like they look almost like they're
Amish.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Like the big
So,
ass
you know-
beards. Right?
Okay, we got kind of a shitty connection.
Oh shit. Okay. I can hear you guys. Are you good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you say, bro?
I was saying like they're the ones that like they look Amish. They look kind of like they're part of like a Weird Al Yankovic music
Absolutely.
video.
Yeah, bro, you're on the money. So so the men wear the long beards. They have the long curled sideburns,
Yeah.
and they, you know, some of the men will wear either a yarmulke or what's known as a shtrel, which is like a top hat, almost like a stovepipe looking hat. And these poor sons of bitches wear the fucking heavy coats and shit year round. So in the fucking hotter summer and everything else, you know.
Shit, even
they
in the
button it up those
summer.
things. And what a lot of people don't realize is the Orthodox women all wear wigs. They have to shave their hair short underneath and wear the wig.
The fuck?
Yeah. So like, you know,
I-
Muslim women have to wear the what do you call it? The toilet. Yeah, that thing. Whereas women, Orthodox women, it's sort of the same concept. You can't show your natural hair to somebody besides your husband,
Yeah.
but they opt to wear a wig.
Yo, you know what? This is a little side. Like, I don't want to distract from what we're talking about, but
Yeah.
that just reminded me. Like, I used to work at a hotel in Pismo Beach, like in Central Coast in California, and like one summer there was this like bus full of I think it was like Orthodox Jewish like teenage girls. There was like some sort of like camp or something.
There you go.
Is that where you
Where they, like,
disappeared
you
to
know,
for
go on
like a
big
week?
trip or whatever. What'd you say, Nick?
I said, is that where you disappeared to for like a week?
Yeah, we're not going to get into any of that. But, like, I don't want to incriminate myself here, man. Jerry Epstein myself. But anyway, like, or Jeffrey, whatever the fuck his name is. But anyways, but yeah, so these girls, man, they were all, you know, very. It's very funny. They were like, you know, Jewish mothers in training, man. They were all fucking complaining about the weather and like needing all this damn like help with shit. And it was a not an easy week for me at work. But the point of me bringing it up is, so they all had to wear these like crazy fucking like wool looking dresses like wherever they went. But they wanted to go in the pool, so they all fucking like jumped in the pool with all their like clothes on.
Yeah.
I guess they have ones that they can like swim in, but all the like other guests were like complaining. They're like, these weird girls are like in the pool like with their clothes and they even had shoes on, dude. They had their shoes on in the fucking pool, and like you know, everyone complained they were getting like sand in the pool, and then like there was like their dirty clothes are in the pool, and so we had to like somehow like, you know, make it okay between this big group of people without offending them, you know, because they're very like strictly religious and stuff, and we can't be like, get your dirty like clothes out of our pool, you know. The other people who were there on their vacation were super pissed off. So it was just it was a lot of bullshit. So I thought it was pretty interesting that they couldn't like take their fucking clothes off and wear like swimsuits and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that would be considered an affront to God or Hashem.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, you were saying about there's the Orthodox and then the non-Orthodox and whatnot.
Yeah, you know, like, so culturally, you'd say I'm Jewish, you know, but like, you're a fucking lawyer who lives in Upper East Side and eats lobster and fucking, you know, bacon, whatever the fuck else, you know.
Right.
But you use that cultural connection as business and social, and you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would say that's most of them, to be honest. That's probably 3/4.
Right.
And then, you know, like the 1/4 is like the very fucking serious, hat wearing, you know, Sabbath observing, all that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your relationship? So people think that you're a Jew?
Well, yeah, you know, they look at me, you know, I'm like one of those racially ambiguous types, you know. I'm a chameleon, basically, you know. If I'm in a Hispanic neighborhood, I'm a fucking Puerto Rican. If I'm in an Italian neighborhood, I'm Italian, you know. If I'm in the Diamond District or Manhattan, I'm a Jew, you know. I get Afghan.
You use that to your advantage?
You know, I try to. I don't bullshit with people, you know. I don't really tell them I'm one of them. But, you know, I kind of just fucking speak their language and don't say anything about it. And, you know, everything is good. You know, I fit in.
I mean,
cool, man.
What? Excuse my ignorance, but why is it called the Diamond District?
So that's basically a block, one street in Manhattan on 47th Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's between 6th and 7th Ave. And basically, you ever seen the movie Snatch?
Yeah. The documentary?
Yeah. So the Jews basically own mines in Africa, in Sierra Leone. Somehow, some way, they went to Africa and basically controlled this shit and run like a fucking awful, like, fucking slave mining factory.
Yeah.
Oh, I've watched a lot of those depressing documentaries. No, I was saying, like, I've seen that. Like, I know, like, that it's horrible over there. But,
yeah.
So it's literally that small of an area?
Yeah, so, you know, it's basically all the fucking diamonds that go, most of them that go to U.S., some get to Los Angeles and other spots, but it mostly goes there in fucking huge armored trucks and, like, these crazy fucking secure buildings where, like, if you want to go in, they scan you. It's like the airport times 10, bro, like fingerprints, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, man, and that's, like, everybody there is pretty much an Orthodox Jew, you know, they're back and forth to Israel all the time, and, like, you know, and then also at the same time, you get a bunch of, you know, Floyd Mayweather, you know, whatever fill-in-the-blank rapper shows up there, buys his chain, shows it off. It's like, yo, I want to throw in the plug for Yuri Diamonds, cutting me a deal on this platinum chain.
Yeah, they have like they have a little section so you can take Instagram pictures right after you make your purchase. That sounds cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's the whole business, man. You throw them a plug, and then hopefully they send in more Tetsuns to go cop the same thing.
Exactly. It's so ridiculous.
They make like grills and shit there. Like
Yeah. Floyd Mayweather gets his custom mouthpieces, his little boxing mouthpieces that are like rubber with like diamonds inside them and shit.
holy shit. Wait,
Yeah.
he fights with those?
Yeah.
No way.
And you can honestly, you can get any, if you can imagine it, you can get it done in gold and diamonds better and all that shit.
Wow.
I've always
I need
been
a lot of money so I can get creative with that.
well. I've always been so skeptical of like chains and jewelry and stuff because I'm like, early Gucci Mane, like people who used to just like put on like ridiculous amounts of chains, it just didn't look like real. And I'm also just like,
Right.
I'm like wondering like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell like are they getting this money like as a loan? Like did the label give them like $500,000 to spend? Like even if
Dude,
they gave
the rappers, it's like they all fucking front with that shit, dude.
I
They
feel
all
like
have
it's all
rented
fake
cars
shit.
and rented mansions and all that.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, there's a big business in loaning jewelry. So, like, for say you're doing a video shoot, they will loan you out the jewelry. You'll sign over your name, your house, and every fucking possession you have. And then basically, if you don't bring that shit back in pristine condition, you bought it instead of rented it. But a lot of that is going on. Same with the cars and the mansions, the models. Like, I'd say a lot of that is going on. At the
Yo,
same
I
time-
wonder. Wait, go ahead.
Well, I mean, a lot of rappers will buy that shit too. But I mean, yeah, it's very easy to front, man. And the funny thing is, like, the richer, more famous you are, the less you need to buy the real shit. You could get away with wearing fake shit, and nobody would even question it.
That's true.
I feel like that's the same thing with like I mean I would if I only had like and I say only if I only had like a net worth of a few $1,000,000 and I was a young up and coming artist, the worst thing I could do would be buying like a fucking $1 million Lamborghini.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of just renting it. Like I mean I feel like there's a ton of just rental agencies. You could just touch down any city that you're touring at and spend a few $1,000s to have a Lambo for the weekend and then not actually own it. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it's all about image these days, bro. I mean, when Drake is the fucking biggest star on the planet, fucking a half Jewish child actor, talks about being a gangster and shooting this one and that one. If he can be a star and nobody gives a shit, then anybody can.
Yeah, there's no point in even trying to act. fucking
Dude, he came from the
legitimate.
he came from the tough streets of Degrassi, dude.
Oh man, I've been meaning to watch that show. I bet you it's pretty good.
Yeah, just at least for nothing else, just to fucking see that full
Yeah.
mode.
Dude,
And
that
actually, you know what? I don't want to change the subject here, but
we
I
can
was listening to one of you guys' shows. This was an early one. Yeah, and JoJo, Rick, did you not say that you thought that Drake was as good as Michael Jackson?
What?
You must have been, maybe you fucked up, but bro, you said
on
that
a
shit.
good one, bro. If
I would listen to that, bro. I spit out my fucking coffee. Like,
There's
man,
gotta be some like context for that, dude. What the fuck?
I think maybe you were saying, like, at the point of Drake's fame and all that bullshit, like, people nowadays, he's, I don't know. I don't know what's
I don't know, man. Well, if I said that, that was some bullshit.
Well,
That's not true.
I mean
What
just
do
for what it's worth, Rick's sober now. So
Yeah.
he's probably not saying shit like that anymore.
That was fire.
I think that I said things 10 times worse than that, probably. But no,
Oh,
dude,
man.
well, I mean, I loved MJ my whole life, man. So that's like fucking heresy to come out of my mouth. I fucking hate Drake too.
Dude, I don't hate
what
Drake,
are your
but
thoughts on Michael, bro?
on who? Michael Jackson?
Yeah, like, you think he fucked those kids, you like his music, the whole business.
God, it's funny because we were talking about this kind of
Bill
thing.
Cosby.
We were talking about Louis C.K. Bill Cosby is Bill Cosby is a horrible person.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, is that you have to look at it like he's not Mr. Huxtable. Like the Cosby Show was a great show. It'll still always be a great show.
Sure.
And that's not him, there's a difference. And even though I'm not gonna like glorify him, but it's funny because we were talking about how like Louis C.K. his offense was like, it was offensive, but like people do that shit all the fucking time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, every night, right? Right.
I just feel like I just feel like he
I was
didn't.
saying before, the major issue with him isn't so much that he did some creepy shit with some chicks, is that he like didn't really
do it.
up
Like,
to it or like apologize for it. That like kind of, it was like a half-ass kind of like type thing.
is he a Jew too?
I don't think he is.
Yeah, he's a ginger, so Hitler probably would have killed him too. But
I think I heard that he was half Mexican, of all things.
What the fuck?
What? Really?
Wow.
I can't tell at all. He does not tan well.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, you guys! I gotta go talk to my pops real quick, but can carry out your combo. I'll be right back.
All right. Well,
So,
wait. So, what was the original question? Sorry, I sidetracked you.
Oh well, I don't know. What do you think about Michael Jackson? Like, did you see that documentary on him?
Dude, actually, I've purposely not watched it because of how many of my friends basically told me don't watch it. They were like, you get the gist of it. It's like just really, it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's like an unnecessary amount of like.
It was pretty fucked up, man. But at the same time, like the weird part about it was, I feel like the kids like enjoyed it and don't really like regret it.
Exactly. It's kind of, dude. Did you watch the newest Dave Chappelle special on Netflix?
Oh yeah, man.
Dude, it's
that
so.
Shit was good.
When he was talking about the Michael Jackson thing, he was like talking about how it's like Macaulay Culkin or someone goes back to school and goes like, I got sucked off by Michael Jackson or something like that. He's like bragging about it. But
yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, because I think that it's super petty to finally come out with this documentary after someone who has died can't like defend themselves or like bring up any other sides of the story. So I'm wondering kind of where just all of that came from. Like, who all of a sudden was just like, hey, this documentary that could have been released 10 years ago, let's release it now. So I'm like wondering who's benefiting from the documentary. And then also Macaulay Culkin has still gone down to this day saying that Michael Jackson never messed with him. And like,
yeah, man.
So it's like,
Corey Feldman too, who
they're like, he's cool. He was cool as fuck.
Says Michael didn't.
Yeah, and like that's the thing that sucks, is that especially in that situation, if you're even questioned on that kind of I guess we'll call it mischief or crime. But if you're like questioned on that, even just being questioned is a bad thing. Like, even if you're like clean as cotton, you're still, people are still gonna like look at you differently. And
yeah,
I think that's messed up.
And then the more people that jump on the fucking bandwagon, the worse it looks, like.
Oh yeah, and there's also just my theory. So I have a kind of weird, like, I don't know, it's not a weird theory, but it's a not popular theory. Is that I think that Michael Jackson was his childhood was stolen from him, and that I think he just had a fucking he wasn't medicated necessarily, but I feel like he just had his childhood stolen from him, and his mind was just messed up. Like, he was having to like perform for like sold out crowds when he was like when he hadn't even gone through puberty yet. And so
Yeah,
it's,
man.
and so it's like I can't I like he never got to experience like riding BMX bikes like with his friends, or like, you know, going and getting like Arizona iced teas at the corner store, and like just doing kid shit. I don't know, just like doing cool
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Like, and so I feel like
Not to mention,
that's why he had all that stuff. He had like a roller coaster at his house, and like animals and all this cool stuff, because I feel like he's just like, yeah, dude. I mean, his dad was an asshole, and that's documented. His dad was a huge controller.
he beat the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, and I mean, there's even like conspiracy theories that aren't that much of a conspiracy, that like his dad like messed with his aging, and just like, I don't know. There's conspiracy theories that he was like chemically castrated by his dad so that it made his voice stay high pitched.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely possible, man. You know, like
Well, because no one could.
that shit went on. You know, Shirley Temple. There's a lot of examples of people who that happened to.
Yeah, before there was like any kind of like laws on parents exploiting their children, and that's also interesting too. That like you were saying, Feldman and Macaulay Culkin both say nothing happened. They both also experienced like being taken advantage of. Like,
Yeah.
his parent, Macaulay Culkin had like Home Alone money, like Home Alone 2 money, dude. Like that,
True.
like, you get Home Alone 2 money, like that's crazy. Like that shit shows up on, like, that guy's getting paid every Christmas. Like every November and December, he's getting paid like a ton. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't know. It's just just let the man pass and be done with it. I mean, I don't know.
True. Yeah, who the fuck knows, man? I just know that in Hollywood in general, there's some real secret, deep, dark shit going on with kids. You know, that we'll probably never know about. But
Oh, I know, dude. Dude, I can only read so much about that shit. I have to like stop. I have to stop myself. Like I'll wake up and like I woke up today and I was like, I started like reading a bunch of stuff on the Epstein scandal, and I was just like, why am I starting out my Saturday like this? This is not a.
yeah, I hear you, bro. You could go crazy with the conspiracy theory shit, man. It happened to me, you know.
I mean, yeah, and it's just not even. It's just not. It's good to be educated, but at the same time, like, why would you start out your day with like that heavy of stuff? It's just, I mean.
Yeah, you gotta live your life, you know.
But I mean, at the same time, there's all this new shit coming out now. Like, is the president actually going to be impeached? Isn't this like the 19th time that they're trying?
Yeah. You know, I got to hand to him. He's a pretty clean motherfucker because they've been looking up his ass as far as they can, and he's come out clean. So I don't know what to say. I mean,
yeah, I wonder if the Jews are gonna like honorarily induct him into their Hall of Fame, even though he's not Jewish. They're just like, yo, bro, like you fleeced them, you did your work, man. Cause he's like in and out of there, dude. He's like talking shit. Like, I mean, the only person that has gotten closer to North Korea is like Dennis Rodman, and like that's fucking wild.
Was Dennis
dude.
Rodman on his show? Was he on The Apprentice?
I hope, dude. I mean, he was probably like trying to sell like Brita filters or something before they were popular.
Yo, Beach, you've heard the story that Dennis Rodman was in North Korea and like it got like shit all over a hotel room or something.
Right? Yeah, he took a shit in the hotel hallway or whatever. Got pissed drunk.
Damn, bro, what a class act.
Yeah, no, he's the man. You know, I got a lot of respect for him. But my understanding was like, I guess apparently he went over there and just was like, fuck, he was having second thoughts and he was just so nervous that like he drank himself into a fucking stupor. Like, it was the only way you
I
knew how to handle it.
feel like that's just like every night for him. So.
Yeah, true.
It was like
Fucking up with
game
women,
5 in '97 all over again.
Oh, man.
Dude, I mean, it's funny though, cause like, what's his name, Kim Jong Un, rest his soul, or Kim Jong Il was the one that died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a huge basketball fan. He fucking loved the Bulls.
Yep.
And then Rodman came over and like they made like they like had a huge national like celebration like when and they're like, this dude's the best basketball player that ever lived. Shit. And he was probably like way into it, like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm the best. Wait, dude, did you guys ever dude, we watched that movie where he plays with a bunch of like midgets, right?
Well, I never heard about that.
You've never heard of? Oh my god, dude.
Dennis Rodman?
Yo.
Wait,
I'm gonna look
midgets?
this up. Yeah, dude, there's like a whole, I think Mini-Me's in it too.
Oh, damn.
It's like a whole
Dude,
movie
he has a name.
where they're playing like on Venice Beach in the basketball court.
Wow.
It's so good.
But I mean, like,
I gotta look. You guys talk. I gotta look. This up.
Dennis Rodman wasn't even like a prolific scorer. He was known for, he was like a Draymond Green.
Yeah, he was an animal on the boards.
Yeah.
And, he had like a big fucking giant posterior, and the other men in the league knew about his reputation, so he would stick his ass out and drive it back at him. Nobody wanted any part of it. So he would fucking back up and get the rebound.
Yeah, they see this guy with like frosted tips and like some crazy nose piercing just backing his ass into them. I'd be like, yeah, dude, shoot your shot, man. Go ahead. But
Phil Jackson used to set a bedtime for all the Chicago Bulls, except for Dennis Rodman, because he knew he couldn't control them. But like everybody else, it'd be like 8:30, like, Scotty, get your fucking PJs on. Let's hit the sack. But like Rodman, he just let him go out, fucking fly to Vegas, just be back in the game and whatever. But that's something else, man.
He tells Madonna like, have him home before 1. Because didn't he bang Madonna? Like who? Wait, he was fucking like Madonna or he was fucking some high profile actress at the time.
Carmen Electra too, and Madonna.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. This guy that's actually. It brings up
I don't know. I think Jeter got some high quality broads though. And Madonna, that's kind of like sticking into a trash hole or something. Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but still she's famous, so.
Yeah.
Do you? But I mean, like, okay, so who else was on that Bulls team? There's Kerr.
There's probably just a bunch of skanks.
Steve Kerr hit the game winner.
Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, fucking Jordan actually used to hate the fucking white boys, and he would yell at Phil when he would have too many of them in the game at once. What? Yeah, he wouldn't invite him out to the club and shit. And just all man, these fucking white motherfuckers dragging us down, man. Jordan was a real character, bro. Not necessarily, he lived in the free media age, like everybody talks about Kobe's an asshole, and that's probably justified. But Michael is actually a real motherfucking prick, and people don't realize it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude, I mean, growing up, like, that's, like, it's insane thinking about, I can't even imagine growing up, even going through school with fucking smartphones and all that shit. Everyone has, like, something they can, like, immediately document you with in, like, high definition. Like, there's probably some hilarious stuff that Jordan got away with. Like, I know that he, the only stories I've heard of him being an asshole, aside from basketball, is just in golf. It's just another competitive thing. It's like,
oh yeah, man.
It's just hilarious.
Jordan nowadays is gambling, cigars, and golf. That's him too.
Dude, that's like a trifecta. I could get down with.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wait,
I heard a story about
Jordan?
Millionaire. You guys
What
hear that?
Yeah, Millionaire, right?
Yeah, so apparently, like, in there, where he's in line to take a picture with him and get his shoes signed by him, and I guess Jordan, like, called him the N-word and said he's not taking a picture with him. It's like he doesn't think of himself as black, and like,
that was like OJ was like that, dude.
yeah.
He would call other black dudes N-word.
And not as a term of endearment.
He's like, I'm OJ. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm OJ.
Isn't that like a Jay-Z lyric? No. I'm not black. I'm OJ.
Well, I found the movie that Rodman was in. Not to take you guys off the.
Oh yeah.
Shit, but there's a description of the film. I want to read it to you guys. So the movie's called The Minis, and it's a little people, big dreams. It's an inspiring tale full of great music and some funny moments. The message is here: believe in yourself, follow your dreams, and never give up. 4 dwarf men want to raise money for the son of one of the men to go to college, so they form a basketball team and get Dennis Rodman to join them. Rodman's agent encourages them as it will improve his image and make them money. So, of course, he's not above exploiting the dwarfs for an embarrassing ad endorsement. There's a cow-obsessed gal from Paris, the dwarf waitress who befriends the smallest of them, and his worldness himself. And Chevy, who thinks a risky limb-lengthening operation will help him. Can this ragtime scheme of little guys win? Fast-paced action and catchy music enlivens the story, which is suitable for all ages.
I like how they have to include that at the end. They're like, it's beautiful for all ages. Like everyone will heavily relate to this.
Dude, I own that movie actually. Oh damn! Somehow I lost the DVD.
Dude, you own a lot of weird stuff, Rick.
Yo, man, what's not to like about 4 dwarves and Rodman?
Four Doors and Rodman that's what the film should have been called, or Rodman and the 4 Sleepy Dwarves. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. He's way ahead of his time though, man. Because even when he was playing, he was openly bisexual.
Oh shit.
And I don't know if the teammates cared or not, but they didn't make a difference on the court.
Right.
But
dude, it's interesting because some athletes get a lot of shit for coming out or whatever, but he's just such a fucking badass weirdo that they're probably like, damn, dude, they probably expected that all along.
Yeah.
Well,
remember when Bruce Jenner came out as a woman for the first time on the Big Special?
Oh my god,
and then Rodman was on Twitter after saying that he wanted to fuck him and all this shit.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean, they were probably so concerned with not letting Magic Johnson sweat on them that they didn't even think of it as a concern. Did you see the roast of
Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, but it was essentially the roast of Caitlyn Jenner or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Is it Caitlyn Jenner?
Went up on the mic, man, it was pretty cringy, but I gotta give it to
dude. I mean,
or him, whatever.
I mean, he's a fucking Wheaties box.
They fucking roasted the shit out of him, man.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, they got him pretty good. I don't even think they really roasted Alec. They're.
One of my favorite jokes was actually from Alec Baldwin, and he said, he's like, Caitlyn Jenner, he's like, you're beautiful, you look just like a doll. And then he's like, one of those love dolls that I fucked a little bit too close to the fireplace.
Oh my god, dude.
That's actually a pretty good description of what he looks like.
I mean, it is cool that he's self-aware. He's kind of like the Dennis Rodman of triathletes or decathletes. He's kind of just paving his own way. I'm sure if Dennis Rodman could have a vagina in this era, he probably would.
Dude, I don't know, man. I've never really watched the Kardashian show that much, but I've definitely seen it, probably episodes here and there. And as far as I'm concerned, man, I think that Bruce Jenner was just tired of being second fiddle to his fucking daughters, dude. And basically, he was just like the bitch of that show. Like, they were like, "Oh, Dad's like something stupid," and he was just like this total pussy. So I think he was just like, "Fuck y'all, I want to be like more famous than you. The only way I can do it is by literally cutting my dick off."
Yeah, he bankrolled the show and then just dipped out and was like, "Just give me like 15% of every season. I'm fine with that. I don't need to see you guys anymore."
Did he actually cut off his PC deal, or did he still got the bits and pieces down there?
No, man, I think it's gone, bro.
He gave it to Chuck.
Dude, that should be
I wonder what.
That should be on a Wheaties box.
Yeah, I'm sure it's.
Damn. The national hero.
Yeah. You gotta wonder what they do with it after they chop it off. You know what I mean? Do they feed it to like a dog shelter? Like somebody bid on it?
Yeah. They sell it on eBay. Yeah.
Dude, that's valuable. Oh my god.
Oh man.
I bet.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Man. And then, what do you think about a girl like Kylie Jenner, for example? I know she's a whore, obviously, but girls with plastic surgery. What do you think? Is that a yay or a nay from both of you?
Well, I'll go first, man. I mean, I think that she's gonna. I think right now she looks pretty good. She's young, bro. She looks 21, 22. And obviously we all saw what she looked like before the plastic surgery. She was completely fucking different. And it's ironic that she still has makeup, and stuff to try to use to try to look like her, whereas they'll never fucking look like her unless they get fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of plastic surgery.
Right.
But anyways, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think she looks pretty fine. After all her lip injections and butt injections and fucking liposuction and all that shit. But that shelf life is not good, dude. For all the plastic surgery.
Dude, she has $1 billion, bro.
The girls in porn and stuff who start off with a more natural look, and then they all start getting fucking all these wacky enhancements. Dude, they start looking really weird, after a year or two. So, I mean, it's like a stripper look, Yeah. It's not it looks good for a little while, but then, when it comes down to it, man, the more natural beauty is obviously preferable, but there's
Kendall. I'm Team Kendall,
dude.
Kendall's so much better looking.
Kendall, Kendall is pretty hot.
If you're into post-Holocaust survivors, but she is a gorgeous woman, but
yeah, she definitely got dealt a better hand than Kylie.
Dude, but at the same time, can you really say Kylie got dealt a bad hand?
Well,
super hot.
I'm just talking about the way they naturally look.
Yeah, no, I mean, Kylie gets to eat whatever she wants. Kendall has to she's on 1 carrot stick, 2 cigarettes, and 4 Adderalls a day.
Yeah, for real.
And a Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, but only through a straw, and she can only drink half of it.
Right. You remember that fucking Pepsi commercial that she did that she got a bunch of shit for?
Oh my god, dude.
That was pretty. I mean, I think it got so overreacted to it that it was just so fucking cringy, dude. It looks like some shit out of the 80s, where it's just Pepsi is wonderful, bringing everyone together. She's just yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, my family is just totally tone deaf, man. And, I don't know.
Well, that's.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
I think they might be Satanists, to be honest. I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
That's hilarious. But I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking is that, how the hell where did Caitlyn go? Like, did she just like buy her way out of the family, or like? I could.
Well, she tried to have her own show, but it was like too positive, and it wasn't like
It was, it was too reinforcing. That's so
like,
funny.
Wait, what do they say on South Park? They're like stunning and beautiful, you know? When they're like talking about Kate. And Caitlyn Jenner's all is like, buckle up, buckaroos. And, like, running people as well,
Well, that's like. Well, I mean, with Kylie though, I don't think that she needed all of that shit. I think she just did it maybe because her mom is a manipulative psychopath.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, what's your opinion on the mom there? Like, she has to have been. She's so crazy.
She's a genius, man.
She runs the show. For sure.
Yeah, dude.
And I bet you she fucked OJ. I would say that's like 75% chance.
Dude, she fucked the juice. She fucked the juice, and she also she went so far as to make like the most famous Olympic gold medal winner cut his dick off.
Right.
That was her idea.
Yeah, and she's like, she's like, I'm not getting a divorce unless you cut your dick off. We didn't sign a prenup, so I'm taking half, or you're cutting that thing off.
Yeah, pre-nip, dude.
Yeah. Dude, I just don't know how they have all this.
During his interview.
Who's paying all this money? Like, have you seen how much? Like, have you ever seen how much they get for Instagram posts, for instance?
Oh yeah, man, it's fucking ridiculous.
Like Kim Kardashian, I think is like $250,000 for an Instagram post. Like, I wish I was just like so filthy rich that I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you $1 million, but I'm gonna make like the worst thing ever. Like, I would just promote something horrible, or like, I don't know, like how much, because they're all greedy, so it's like you could probably trick them into like being like, yeah, Soylent Green, it's made from people, or something like that. I don't know.
Dude, they would sell their soul for any fucking thing, man.
Dude, they already have their I heard that they already, I don't know if all of them have it, but Cam at least has like her eggs like frozen, so you can be like, yo, I want to artificially create like a Kardashian.
Dude, well, you gotta
Isn't that wild, dude?
How crazy Kanye is to fucking marry into that family, and they were already like full fledged like what they are now. It's not like he was with Kim like before all this shit blew up, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Ray J, you can kind of forgive because he was just like,
Yo, Ray J fucking, they should be kissing his ass.
I know, dude, he made that whole family with.
Well, dude, they already like, what's it called, Vivid Productions or something, like the porn company, Entertainment. They were the ones who came out with that porn tape, and like they it's like widely known that was just like, it was on purpose. It wasn't like,
Right. Well, Ray J.
it wasn't like it was
claims
like
that
he just
said it
like
was
got mad
stolen
and
from him,
leaked
but
it.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
And, I
like,
mean, obviously,
didn't he get like
Paris
cut from the
Hilton did it.
Ravens?
Right. And she was like homies with Kim.
Oh man. Wait, he was
But yeah,
he
dude,
was
like,
a rapper, right?
Yeah,
he was an R&B singer.
He
Okay.
was Brandy's brother.
Yeah. What was his song, man? He had a one song I thought was alright.
It was like, well, the one
Something
that
to
came
Like.
out. Oh, what was it called?
Oh, damn. I don't want to sing it, but.
Well, he had the one that came out after the sex tape.
Alright, I hit it first.
It was like sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Ray J had a couple hits.
A couple years ago, actually, I met an Indian kid, and his name was Ray J. And I was like, oh, that's good. I was like, what's your real name, bro? He's like, no, it's Ray J. I'm like, oh, like the R&B singer. And he's like, what? I'm like, you know, the Kim Kardashian sex tape. And he's like, he had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. You know, he's like, never mind, man. It's all right. Like,
But yeah, he probably looked that up and was like all depressed afterwards.
yeah.
He's just.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, straight up though, like, imagine how fucking insane Kanye is to want to have to be part of that family, bro. Like, that's just nuts.
Yeah, it's money, bro. Money's
I mean, yeah,
motivator.
it's all money, but like, he's already rich, dude. Like, Jesus.
I know that's my thing is that like you could get like you could if you're just a dude and you don't have any obligations or kids, you can get by with $1 million for the rest of your life if you're smart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's just.
But you can't. I guess you can't live.
The most famous person he can
Well,
be.
he's also very obsessed with like being in genres or like things that he hasn't been a part of. It's kind of like how like Lil Wayne tried to get into skateboarding, and like Kanye wants to get into fashion and like he's like obsessed with that. I don't even think
right, yeah, bro. I mean, in New York, people will shoot each other over his fucking shoes.
Yeah, Yeezys. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's Adidas. Those are made by Adidas, right?
Say what?
They're made by Adidas. Yeezys.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did it before that through Nikes, and like, there's not a lot of those out there, but the Nike ones, people will pay like $50,000 for. What? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Just to wear them for like one night. Jesus.
Yeah,
God.
I guess, but not even wear them at all.
Yeah, or like just like wear them one night and then sell them or something. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, cause I've seen them and like the Air Yeezys and stuff, at least through Adidas, are actually kind of cool. Like I think they look cool, but I would never pay over $200 for a pair of shoes unless it's like some classic Jordan ones or something. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think it's that. He's trying. It's almost like he's trying too hard.
For sure, man. Well, he's trying very hard because, like, now, like, he's got his whole sort of alliance with Trump, right?
Yeah, which is super
weird.
weird.
He's getting into the whole Christian scene, and he's, like, releasing a whole Christian album. Yeah.
No way.
So he's taking the...
Is he doing that with
Chance? Big fucking money-making machine. He's being a right-wing Christian. Like, he's got a whole new group of people that is going to pay a lot of money and fucking love his ass. Then he could write a book.
But then he's, like, alienating all his, like, original fans and shit, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, all of his original fans, like, at least, like, I've already bought his albums. Like, he has nothing left to sell me, kind of thing.
Right, that's true. Well, there's also a lot of people who will buy. It's like, dude, I used to date this chick who like would buy like new music, and I'd be like, "Wait, you don't even like this like genre of music, or like Kanye, for example?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, but this is like the new thing, and like everyone's gonna be talking about it, so I want to hear it," you know? And that's just like, I would never treat music that way, dude. Like, I would never just buy something 100% for the hype, you know, and not for like the fact that it's actually good music, you know? Like, but there are a lot of people who would do that, you know? And most people, I think, these days will put their money into something more because it's like a huge hype machine rather than an actual like good piece of art, which is pretty sad to me because it's like everyone doesn't make good music anymore, man. Like, I haven't heard him make anything good in a long ass time.
Right.
But you know, I guess, yeah, with the Christian music and shit, like, maybe people will get into them. That's fucking crazy. So,
you know, CDs are like 7 songs now. Have you noticed that also? You know,
Dude, because I still buy CDs because I whip a 2003 Camry, and so CDs are all I have. So, but I do like buying CDs though, because we also have a couple cool local like independent companies that in Slow.
Yeah, record stores.
Yeah, there's
So that's what's up, man.
Boo
I like
Boos
that.
and Boo Boos and
Yeah, Boo Boo Records, dude.
yeah.
Shout out.
That's dope. And the quality is so much better, bro. Like, people don't realize the shit quality that they get off their Spotify and all that. Like, it's garbage.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
Totally.
And it's also I like having the album art and stuff. Like I don't know, I'm like it's just I like having all that shit. Like, and it's also kind of like I don't know. I like whipping around with like the same CD for like months at a time. Like I don't think like Mac Miller's CD left my CD player for like 3 or 4 months. But I didn't care. I just like I was like, dude, I'm not tired of this. Like, and that's kind of like there's a beauty in like listening to an album in its entirety.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
all of like
It's
the
a
little
lost art, man.
yeah, like all of the little like I love the interludes, like all of like the funny like just there's like I think like Wu-Tang definitely pioneered that whole thing where they'd have like their funny like little like it'd just be like a 45-second like just like there'd be an argument over like chess. And so like there'd be like an argument over that, or it'd be like Raekwon like telling off some like chick, or like telling her shit. You should have got your money first.
Dude,
it's
some respects, some of those like little interludes between are like as much a part of the album as the songs themselves. You know, like
oh yeah,
it really helps to create a full
environment. It almost seems like you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah, dude, Wu-Tang, man, they killed it with all that stuff.
Have you guys watched the Hulu show or whatever?
Yeah. I think it's pretty good, man.
Is it good?
You know?
I haven't checked it out yet.
It's you know, like definitely they probably fictionalized certain elements, and, you know, and made it work for a TV show. But I think I was expecting it to be like an embarrassment for some reason. I just thought that Hulu couldn't make a TV show, but it's pretty good, man. It's pretty damn good.
I mean, a lot of what Wu-Tang has done over the past like 10 years has been pretty hit or miss. I mean, there's been some good stuff. Obviously, the Shkreli shit is really embarrassing, but I don't know.
Yes and no. I mean, at the end of the day, he kind of is the jerk off. Like, for all we know, he bought a mixtape for like $2 million. You know, like that kind of possibly fleeced him. You know.
Yeah. I mean, all they needed to do was take all of their worst tracks that they knew they were never going to put on an album and just throw it all together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I kind of do doubt that RZA like was painstakingly like putting his heart and soul into that shit.
Yeah.
It was just more like a gimmicky like.
It was really Silver Rings who produced it too. RZA kind of like oversaw, but he wasn't hands on with it.
Oh really? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes guys like that. The documentary about Wu-Tang, like the actual documentary. I think it was that on Netflix or HBO or something like that.
It was a Showtime.
Showtime, okay. Yeah, like you kind of saw how like influential RZA was at like networking, because I don't think anyone else on the team was really like actively like trying to promote their brand kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he kind of was the guy who was like, hey, stop selling drugs. Kind of like, hey, like you can rap about it, but like I need you to sign with Interscope, or like, you know, we're gonna do this. And like he was kind of like I guess the agent. Like he was like their agent.
His brother, who wasn't in the group, his brother Divine, like really are responsible for that. I mean, you know, Riz is the heart and soul of the group, man. He produced the beats, and who knows where those guys would be if it wasn't for him, you know. Probably not a good place.
I can only imagine trying to wrangle in fucking ODB to like record with them and like go to shows and stuff when he was just probably getting fucked up and doing crazy shenanigans.
Yeah. I mean, ODB was like that guy who said, okay, you don't think we're really real about it? Like, look at this fucking guy. Tell me we're not from the projects, man. You know, like, fucking wild, man. You know,
Brooklyn
all the
Zoo.
crazy shit that he did.
Yeah.
So cool, man.
Man, that now I'm getting all nostalgic. So I'm trying to think of the West Coast equivalent. I mean, there was.
Dude, there was, the fucking, what do they call it? Like, with Snoop and Dr. Dre and all
Death Row, NWA.
Yeah, Death Row. And then, they had the, Funkadelic, like, sound, Or they just call it Funkadelic, but there's, like, a name for it. But basically, they kind of used a lot of the
funk samples. Yeah.
Like, samples and shit. That was, like, their whole sound. And growing up in Cali, that's just what we would listen to on, like, K-Day and Power 106.
Yeah,
that
man.
sound was, like,
God,
all the local artists, like DJ Quick and
Nate Dogg
and Corrupt and Daz Dillinger and all those fools, like, Warren G.
I can't believe you haven't said any NorCal rappers.
Well, I grew up in SoCal, so
yeah,
I
I
didn't know
get it.
anything about the NorCal
But
shit.
but you were in Santa Cruz. Yeah, in Santa Cruz. Yeah, but I always like wonder if like I don't know. I feel like the Bay only got like attention after Mac Dre died.
Yeah, it's
too short.
Did you know
Yeah,
much about
that's true.
the Bay Area shit? Like, cause like truthfully, I didn't really know anything about E40 or like Mac Dre and
Right.
until a little bit later when I was like
In college.
high school at the beginning of college. But it was some good shit, man. It was really good.
We knew about Too Short though.
Yeah, Too Short, for sure.
And
And Andre Nicotina was popular.
it wasn't
but-
technically Tupac from Oakland.
Yeah.
Tupac's a silly motherfucker. I don't get me wrong. He's got some good music, but he went to Juilliard, bro.
Really?
Yeah, no, I know, right?
Juilliard is like the acting school where like Julia Stiles would go to, or fucking when you think about it, like I'm sure like he probably had a lot harder than Drake growing up. He didn't have like money, but he's questionable.
Yeah, I mean I could see that. I mean Drake's first name's Aubrey, so.
And Tupac, whether or not he was about that life growing up, he put himself into that life. And he paid dearly for it. But right. So I can't shit on him too much. Yeah, and I think he's a great writer. But he really maybe was the first guy who really, really sort of made himself a movie character / entertainer. He really put that persona into it.
Well, yeah,
Right.
it's interesting seeing like the backgrounds of a lot of like I guess like people who just like dominated for like a few years at a time. So like I'll use the example of like Lil Wayne. Like he claims that he got shot, but he shot himself in the fucking leg trying to put a pistol into his pants.
So that,
But he still reps that. He says I got shot when I was like 16. And it's like, dude, you shot yourself in the leg.
Yeah.
And like
That's a nice loophole.
I feel like it's funny. Yeah, it's like, and then like I feel like Baby or Birdman was like the Suge Knight of Lil Wayne. Like he kind of was like he saw the potential. And like Lil Wayne's super talented, but Lil Wayne was not on the 36th Ward streets like selling coke. Like he was definitely he may have done that when he was a kid, maybe been like a little duffel bag boy. Maybe like that's maybe the inspiration for that song.
Right.
But like I don't think he was ever like actually doing that. And I think this like I mean, I've also seen that. I'm waiting for the documentary to come out where they show how like exploitive Birdman and his brother. God, I can't think of his name. What was his brother's name? I don't know. The two guys who ran Cash Money Records. It's just interesting to see how like they found all these dudes who aren't actually from the hood. Like Cash Money Records is responsible for like Drake, Lil Wayne, Tyga, like
Nicki Minaj, right?
yeah, like all these.
Nicki Minaj.
the only person, like, I feel like it's ridiculous to say this, but I feel like right now with new rap, like the person with the most actual street credibility is Cardi B, because she was actually a stripper, and she
yeah, been blowing guys in staircases since she was living.
Yeah.
That's from her own mouth, not from
Yeah, she's from Queens, and she's
from the Bronx, I think.
oh, she's from the Bronx. Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing that's ridiculous is that she's like the one with the most credibility, cause like, who. There's all kinds of funny jokes about how like Jay-Z's never sold crack or like
right.
I don't know. I mean, look at all the stars like Puff Daddy, like you really or whatever he wants to be called now, Diddy.
That silly motherfucker.
P. Yeah. I'm gonna call him P Diddy. I liked that one the most.
Yeah, I think it's just Diddy now because he said that P was getting in between him and his fans.
Yeah.
But, oh my God. Take from that what you will. But yeah, I mean, you know, when you think about it too, if you're actually doing these things, if you're selling drugs, you're shooting people, you would never fucking say it on record. You have to be a fucking retard because the feds obviously are watching you. Right. You know, if you say you're doing that shit, they're gonna look into it. They're gonna catch you. You know, I mean,
that's like that fucking. I mean, there's some great hip hop classics that cover that topic, like
yeah.
Damaja,
for sure.
Playing Yourself, fucking what's his name, MF Doom, Rap Snitch Conditions.
Isn't MF Doom actually like an asshole though?
I think he kind of.
Weren't you telling me that?
I still love him.
Like he showed up to like he had like a paid like lookalike come to his shows or something. Weren't you telling?
I'm pretty. Yeah, I think one of our homies who I don't know where the fuck he's at, but Hank I think went to an actual show where it was MF Doom and like not MF Doom, you know? Wow. And the fans were like all pissed off. They could tell it wasn't him.
That's kind of sick though. I mean, that's like a real heel move, you know. The villainous move.
Yeah, they're like, how are you in like New York and Santa Cruz at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
He probably just doesn't give a shit, you know.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he's not really about the money, you know. Yeah, a little bit, but who knows what's going on, man.
Yeah, but dude, speaking of Cash Money, man, the key to that whole fucking crew was Manny Fresh.
I love that guy.
Dude, he made some sick beats, dude. Dude, that whole era was great. Like I loved that shit.
I loved them back then when I was a kid, man. 6th, 7th grade, you know.
Fucking
bling,
yeah, big timers.
Big timers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit.
That shit's so. Yeah, dude, Juve. Oh my God, I actually I think that's the CD that's in my car right now. It's just Juve the Great. It was that song Bounce Back, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh man.
Yeah.
That CD is just revolutionary. Like I don't know. I just loved that whole era of like where they would just be like the music videos would just be them like whipping like ATVs around like like
freaking
beaches and shit.
And shit.
Yeah, they'd be like they'd just be like.
That was dope because that's not even really expensive. You know, like a $30,000 car.
Hey, that's cool, man. It was in their budget, man.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Oh man. Who else? Okay, wait. There's Manny Fresh. Yeah, Manny Fresh was probably like the most talented of them, as far as he made beats and he could also rap. But because I'm pretty sure every Birdman / Baby song or verse was all like written for him.
Dude, Birdman is like the least talented of all of them, man.
Right.
You know, he was such a terrible rapper, dude.
Birdman was the guy who put up the cash at the beginning and probably was taught to rap. Sort of like Eazy-E kind of did the same thing for NWA.
Right, yeah. Even in the movie Fair Compton, they like show that too.
Yeah.
Do you think he went full Michael Jackson and fucked Lil Wayne like people think?
That's why Lil Wayne called him his daddy, dude.
Yeah, here's the thing: is like, what kind of man okay, maybe a good, kind-hearted man, but besides that, what kind of man like takes a boy off the street and raises him as his son? You know, no one does that without an ulterior motive, except like a very, very fucking good person, which I don't think he is.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah.
Well, I think he probably saw the talent in Lil Wayne and exploited him.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, like, I mean, there's also that funny ass picture of them kissing on the lips.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that though? Like that's the only thing. It's so funny. Like, I think the funniest part about that picture is if you look at the dudes in the background's faces. Like, they all they don't want to be a part of this picture. Like, they're trying so hard to get out of the frame. It's so funny.
If I just run in the other direction.
Or just make him like a fucking sour face. He'd be like, oh, like I'm about to puke.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but dude, Manny, man, I mean, dude, we were reminiscing about like the early 2000s hip hop, like,
Yeah.
we were talking the other day. It was like, dude, who are some other like kind of artists that like go under the radar these days? Because I'm trying to remember.
That came and went.
Mac Dre.
Well, Mystical, you know.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Danger! You know, fucking, he was just like the first guy. I bet you, you know, he probably railed like a full 8-ball and went into the studio.
Yeah, man, that was like his fucking, probably his like the spinach for Popeye. Going there and
Get out
so
of the
crazy. He went to prison for like raping his nanny or something, right?
Really?
Yeah, that's why he was gone for like
His
6
nanny.
or 7 years.
So he also
Mystical.
had a really cool upbringing, that he had a nanny that he had the
No,
opportunity.
it wasn't his nanny. It was like the nanny to his kids.
What?
Probably needed the nanny himself.
Wow, dude. Well, thankfully he sent out the warning shot of making the song dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, you should have known.
Yeah.
Wait, what was this song with Pharrell that was really like about asses or something?
Oh, shake your ass.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got it. Yep.
Oh, dude, the
And then,
Neptunes and Pharrell were amazing. They make so many dope beats.
Yeah.
oh yeah, man, I gotta hand it to that guy. You know,
I feel bad that I don't know off the top of my head the other guy from the Neptunes.
The Asian guy?
oh,
Yeah.
I know him, Chad Hugo.
Yeah. There we go.
He's my favorite guy in the Neptunes, actually.
Dude, he's
Hell yeah.
insanely talented.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god. I'm trying to think of, okay, wait, so you're thinking of other rappers that went under the radar.
What about, who is the guy that had the song that was like, My Project?
Oh, Cuckoo Cow.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Cuckoo Cow.
Yeah. From Milwaukee. That's he's the one hit wonder. Yeah. Let's see, there was Lil Zane. Remember him?
Lil Zane?
Yeah. He basically, like you were saying, he basically just stole Tupac's flow and just had a song or two and dipped.
Yeah. But he was cool. He was cool though.
Yeah.
Well,
Or Black Rob. Remember that dude?
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
That was shit. I still listen to that song.
I love his name too, though. Black Rob.
Yeah.
It's so much better than Lil.
Oh, for sure, man.
Have your name in black in front of it.
Yeah.
I also miss that, like, back when I used to still listen to Kanye West, the crew that he rolled with was so sick back then, like Talib Kweli and Mos Def back then.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of Black Star shows back in the day. Probably like 3 or 4.
Dude, like, yeah, like that
Kweli
was such a
and
show crew. Whatever happened didn't. Oh, wait, oh, you know who another rapper that I thought was great, but he had kind of a weird career, was Mace.
Oh yeah, Mace.
He became like a preacher or something,
Yeah.
and then
Totally.
like it was like, actually I'm gonna go back to rapping.
Well, then he tried to come back, but it was not like did so well for him.
Yeah. Dude, his old songs are so sick though.
Yeah, Mace was great.
I'm trying to think.
He was way better than Puffy for sure.
Well, yeah, he basically he like
rapping and stuff.
yeah he like put Puff on his back and then just like carried him to the promised land.
Yeah, and then Biggie had his own like little crew before he died.
Oh, dude.
Like,
well, like there's also there's the Firm was sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. AZ, Nas, and
Yeah. Oh, there it is. AZ was fucking insane. The Firm actually only had a few. Like I mean, they had that song Phone Tap, but
yeah, Phone Tap, that was a good one.
AZ's like himself was just like, I think he inspired like Mobb Deep. He inspired a lot of like that New York like rap flow just over like a very simple like snare drum type beat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, actually, I met Foxy Brown like 8 years ago.
What?
Yeah, in the boxing gym. You know, her looks were obviously long gone by that point. But you know, I was still kind of starstruck. Like, you know,
you could tell it was her.
Yeah. You know, she was there for like to promote something.
Oh, okay.
But then I met Mayweather once, but he was just like, you know, he didn't give a fuck about me, you know. And I'm trying to think who else I met. I saw French Montana one time on the street.
Oh yeah.
And just to fuck with him, you know, like in the songs, and said, I did that shit. Said, well, good. And like he fucking like freaked out, like shook mad hard, and he looked around and like I just like gave him a peace sign, like it's cool. Like, hey. And he was like, oh, he waved, and then like, I don't know, I guess he thought like he was gonna get shot or some shit. But then I saw Fat Joe, the guy like I think he went on Atkins or something because he's like medium-sized Joe now. But yeah, I'm trying to think who else. You know,
there's a lot of stars coming through.
Yeah, I met the RZA once, but that was like it wasn't by chance. I went to a meet and greet, and I was like the last guy in the line of like 200 people.
Yeah.
And you know, I could tell he was kind of like, hey, what's up? Like, what's your name? I'm like, Brandon. He's like, hey, peace, Brandon. But then I had like these special Wu-Tang shoes. You know, like, hey, would you mind signing them for me? He's like, sure, why not? You know, like I had Capadonna sign too. And then like he lit up. He's like, what? Like he's like, Capagoins? I was like, yeah. You know.
Damn. Oh, so you had Capadonna sign like way like before? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy, dude.
But
where'd you get the shoes from?
I actually got them in Staten Island. It was when I first moved out there. It was like 2006. And I went over to Staten Island to their hood to Stapleton, and there was like a hip-hop store. And I got these shoes. I paid like $60 for them at the time. And then like recently I looked up like their value, and it's like $450 now. Shit. And then I got it signed by two guys. So you know, I'm not going to sell them, but you know, that's kind of cool.
Dude, that'd be funny if you took them to like Antiques Roadshow or something. You've seen that show, right?
That'll be Antiques Roadshow in like 20 years from now.
Yeah. It's like a Wu-Tang artifact like specialist.
Yeah, they'll be like, dude, like they're like, yeah, RZA threw me the towel he was wiping his sweat off with at Lollapalooza. The auction bidding starts at $1,200. It hasn't been washed.
Yeah.
Oh man. So maybe to shift gears a little bit here. I don't know if this is the right forum, but Nick, has Rick told you like a whole 8th grade floor defecation stories and shit?
Rick has told me several stories, but they're always new to me. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I honestly, man, I've never really gotten like very far into it. I've told them some of the phantom shitting exploits, but it never really into great detail. It's just there's so many like
I don't know if you want to get
so many
into
parts
it on
of
here.
the story that it's just like opening a can of shitworms, you know?
Yeah,
but I mean, we could talk about it now if you get like, or just maybe next time because it's a long story.
True. Yeah. But
I don't know, dude. Wait, so yeah, Nick, like, well, I mean, I never even introduced you, dude. But me and this fool Brendan, or I call him BJ, we used to call him out as kids. Like, we grew up, or I grew up, in Orange County, Mission Viejo, and this fool like moved into the area in like third grade when we were in
Yeah.
And so we became friends like pretty early, and then in middle school we got into some into some trouble. I got into some trouble, but like it was like our crew was part of like a fucking it was almost like graffiti artists, but and tagging, but instead of using like spray cans, like using human shit.
Are you serious?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it that way.
Yeah,
I would say we were like,
you can probably paint a better picture.
Yeah, at school we basically just tried to instigate things. We pulled a lot of pranks and shit. Like how it started was my friend used to get these nasty bean burritos in his lunch at school, and like as a gag, he would go into the stall and like drop it on the floor, make a bunch of noise, and like everybody in the bathroom would be looking and think somebody was taking the shit on the floor. And then one of our friends was just like, "Yo, why don't we just do that for real?" And like, damn, but we're like, but who has the balls to do that? And then like Rick was like, "Yo, I'll do that shit." And then like, it became a one-day thing, and then like, were we doing that, Rick?
I don't know, man. I think that
Spring
went on for like a couple of months at least.
Yeah.
But the heat kept like getting hotter. Like once it was like a big thing, like you could tell because like it'd be like minutes after it happened. Like the principal, like the vice principal would be in there, and they'd all be on their like walkie-talkies and stuff.
Yeah, they're having PTA meetings trying to catch who was doing it. And one time, me and a buddy of mine walked in after Rick did the hit on the floor, and we go in and we see the principal there, and he's got one of those old school like plastic cameras, and he's taking horizontal and vertical pictures and like zipping it, and like there's like 20 kids in the bathroom just all pointing at him and laughing, and you could tell he was just like a fucking broken man. And it was like the funniest, most beautiful thing in my life. And it really like I could tell it was a personal vendetta for him because like he felt emasculated, I think.
Dude, in a way, man, it was almost like his Moby Dick, dude, his white whale he was trying to catch. Like, it might have like broken him down mentally, but
he lost his pension over it.
Wait, what, Nick?
He said he lost his pension over it.
It'd be funny if he got like fired from his job, but he just like kept chasing like the Phantom, like brought it like a personal visit.
And he ends up like having a good redemption story, so he like sells the script to Hollywood, and like Jason Statham plays him, or like I don't know, someone who figures out poop crimes.
Yo, I should get Jason Bates to play me though. I think that'd be a good actor for the...
Dude, we all know that you look like the dude from Stranger Things.
Oh, I know, man. I get that shit so much, dude. Holy shit. I think it's just because I have like kind of a fucking dirty beard. And like a thinning hair that I flick back.
Yeah.
But dude, or yeah, I mean, it would be a funny like offshoot if it was like Mr. Knight's going rogue. I mean, like he like turn in your ruler and your fucking like whatever vice principals have.
Yeah. And your whistle.
Yeah, your whistle and your ruler.
I joke with Rick all the time about what happened to those pictures that he took. Like they probably like he keeps him like under his bed and he fucking beats off to him, or like they're on his wall at home next to his kids and like pictures of him in Hawaii and shit.
Oh my god!
Because imagine the guy who developed those. Like that's the fucking story,
Dude, that's like some 1 hour photo shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
But I'll tell you, Nick, man, it was something to experience. experience, man. Like, that was the only time in my life where I was actually sick and I, like, wanted to go to school. I would still go and fucking, and I can't miss it, you know.
It's like a beautiful era. When I can't believe, I mean, did you bring Rick on board just for the poop, or like, did he?
Well,
did he have to
yeah,
get? Did he have to get
It
jumped
was
in?
like we kind of had all come up with it together.
yeah.
It was like a team. Well, and then some of the other homies like got down too.
Yeah, we had a couple
I
of
feel like
people
I
drop.
had more ammo than them, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like you had a dick measuring contest. It was a shit measuring contest. And Rick sized everybody up. You know? But, I don't know, man. We fucking,
But yeah, I mean, there's like, we could sit here for hours and just go about like all of the little like details, bro. Like, one day we should just do that, man, and have a pod like completely.
Yeah, true that.
It's just fucking funny story.
I mean, I
and, you know,
don't,
Rick.
I don't have a job, so I'm always down to record.
Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, Rick, I don't really know many of your stories that Nick, that you probably know. I mean, really, you know, in 2006, we kind of parted ways. Not that we didn't keep touch, but I mean, I'm sure, like, I know very little, if none of that, you know.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot.
Yeah, even just in my few years knowing you, Rick, there is a lot.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it usually just involves, like, you know, waking up in other people's truck beds and things like that.
Well, dude, did I tell you? I think I might have this podcast gone into it. One time I went into like a house, like a family's house, like because I think I don't know. I was at a party and it was like really like cold outside, and the party got shut down. And this was like before Ubers kind of existed, and I like didn't really have anywhere to go, and I was all fucked up. So I just like went into this backyard of this house, like the next door neighbor's house, and like was trying to sleep on like a chair or something. And I ended up just like sneaking into their fucking home and sleeping in their closet. And then in the morning, like all the kids came downstairs and were like playing and shit, dude. And I had to like sneak out like one night, and I thought the coast was clear, dude.
Wow.
And I never got caught, bro. But like, imagine if like that kid like was playing with his like toys and he just sees me and I like put my finger up to my lips and just like go away. Like, great.
Oh my god.
There's some close calls for sure.
That's like some artist type shit, man.
Dude, Rick fell asleep. He pried open a Vaughn's door in the middle of it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then fell asleep under the football Super Bowl like beer exhibit. And he went under there and just passed out for a few hours, and then went to Starbucks and didn't order anything, so they tried to boot you. And you finally got like a little bit of charge on your phone, and I came and picked you up, and that was just like a regular day, dude. That was just like I was like, oh, I was already gonna go to Ralph's or Vaughn's anyway, and you just happened to be there.
The best part is just having that like night of pure debauchery and just like complete like fucking shame, and then just like strolling into work like nothing happened.
Winding up back at work. You know, there's a movie just like that called After Hours by Scorsese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's fucking...
Yeah, I fucking lived that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, dude.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. Well, Nick's had some crazy shit. Well, dude, just while we lived together, you know, like you said.
Dude, I have like 12 hours plus of stuff that we recorded that I haven't even like. I've looked at it, but I don't know what the hell to do with it.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. To watch it go through.
It's hilarious though. Like there's like there's some great
gold there.
yeah, there's some great
good shit up it.
Yeah, like especially there's like Rick, you went on like there's like I was just watching it like last night. You go on this like 2-minute rant about Kevin being the garage guy, and
yeah.
that's our other roommate, and
Yeah.
he you said that like my favorite line is just you said something along the lines of, yeah, dude, we stopped coming out into the garage when you started watching Suits. The show.
Yeah, that was where we drew the line.
Yeah, we were out there every night kicking it, and then Suits came.
Yeah, the Suits era was a dark period.
Yeah, I didn't know people watch shows like that, fucking USA shows and shit.
It's like TNT knows drama.
It's funny too because he knows it's like he's ashamed of himself for watching it, but he's like addicted to it, dude. Like he can't help himself.
Oh man.
He's like, leave me alone. Wants to watch it in peace.
Yeah, he's just
watching Falcons. Yeah. Nah, but yo, did you see the newest video of us trying to eat those peppers, like the ghost peppers?
Oh yeah, man. I saw that. That was good shit.
That was pretty funny.
You
on your own floor.
Yeah, dude,
I can't believe you ate the
drooling,
whole
man.
fucking thing. The thing is I mean I paid dearly for that because I didn't get as bad of a reaction because Rick chewed his up like fucking bubblegum, and like so it just wrecked him like right then, and I chewed mine like a few times and just swallowed it, so I didn't have that bad of a reaction until the next day when I had to poop it out, and that was horrible. That was like eating a whole bag of flaming hot Cheetos and not drinking any water. It was bad. But
it burns at the other end, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're gonna pay the fine one way or another.
Jesus.
It was bad.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like goes through a tornado through your stomach, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I don't know.
I liked how you just came back from it like it was like you took DMT or something. Like there's just at one point where you just all of a sudden were back. You're like, all right, I'm done. It's good.
Yeah. I don't know. It definitely sobers you up, though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like that could be a good thing for people who need to sober up really quick, dude.
You puke them out, right?
Yeah, it made me puke, but like I've done it before where I was like all fucked up and I tried to eat something super spicy, and like I don't know if it's because it makes you sweat a lot or like you have to drink a bunch of like water, but like you're all clear headed afterwards. I think also it's just like your adrenaline too.
Yeah.
Like it just like resets your fucking brain. Maybe they could like somehow apply that to someone who has like a concussion.
Or like
smelling salt or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like smelling salt. All right, well I'm gonna wrap this podcast up.
Yeah.
No doubt.
For all dozen people that listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Dude,
no doubt, anytime, man.
Dude, you need to come on our show every time. The three of us have a good little thing going.
Well, dude, next time I want to come up, man, because it'd probably be better if not all three of us are on different phones. But like, yeah, I definitely want to come to Cisco as soon as I can. Maybe we can do something when I'm up there.
I will.
That would be good.
I'm not hanging up on you, but I'm closing it out. Thanks for you guys for being on.